My name is Mark Escombe and I'm the MD of a company called Gu. Gu are a British company that make desserts operating in the UK grocery trade, but also have started businesses now in France and also shipping Gu product across to Germany, Austria, Australia and New Zealand. When the business started, Gu was more focused on making sure that the product was absolutely right. It needed a product that was completely different to what existed on the British market already. The reason why we felt that we could compete with larger and more established businesses is because we had something that was completely different. There hadn't been a product like Gu before, both in terms of its taste, its quality, and also its very contemporary positioning. And with that unique positioning, it did target a niche market. We were appealing to a core target of consumers that really hadn't been addressed with any of these other products previously. Probably a female, she's probably slightly younger, probably professional, maybe a little bit more affluent, lives in an urban area versus a rural area, and that's our bullseye target for Gu. Like many entrepreneurial companies, when Gu originally started, it was probably more on a gut feel and an entrepreneurial feel than it was on market research. But I think what was different about Gu than many entrepreneurial companies is that it was also backed up fairly rapidly with some qualitative and quantitative market research, which proved out the fact that actually the gut feel was right. When we sit down and make decisions about how we're going to market the brand, it comes down to a number of different factors. It's obviously clearly revolves around what is the consumer insight and who that consumer is. But then you think about how you're going to go after that consumer. So you need to understand what kind of media they're watching, where they're shopping, and then understand the cost of reaching them. And there's many different ways that you can go after your target consumer or attract or make your target consumer aware of your product. So we've done a lot of giving out products inside stores next to the aisle where you can buy it, so that people who might be wandering by, maybe haven't noticed Gu before, haven't considered trying it before, have an opportunity to try it for free. And once they've tried it, we know that they're going to buy it. And it's really trying to find the balance of how quickly you get to them, how many you get to, and how much that costs. The 4 Ps, product, place, price and promotion, are all important to developing a brand and getting to your consumer. You cannot say that one is more important than any of the others. They all need to work in unison with each other in terms of building the brand. If any of those things are wrong, or you don't have them, or they're weaker, the product almost certainly will fail. When the company was first set up 8 years ago, marketing was very much focused on getting people to try the product. 8 years later, and now we're more established and we have more funds to build the brand, we're focused as much on getting people to try the brand, but also building awareness, which is more expensive, but we can afford to do that now. The top 3 things that I would do for marketing a brand, one is that stay loyal to what your brand is about. Don't mess with the original equity of the brand, stay very loyal to that. Number 2 is that make sure that it is different to anything else that's there, and that's the thing that you need to talk about. Don't talk about what anybody else has got, talk about what is unique to yourself. And number 3 is never discount it. A brand is something that has to survive in its own right, and it has to command a premium over everything else. So it's really important that you hold and make sure you build its equity from a premium positioning.